So I just woke up. It's 1:11 in the morning, and I don't know that you could see it. Look over near the electrical, the light. Over there, you could pretty much see the rain coming down, and there is some ice stuck with it. I can tell you at this moment it is 29 degrees, and by the time we hit morning, it's gonna be probably 21, 22 degrees. The problem with this is that the colder it gets, the more ice that will be on the ground. There's two people down there walking. That's kind of weird for it being 1:30 in the morning, but that's how it is sometimes. Anyhow, the neighborhood is good, and I don't have a problem with that, but nevertheless, I just wanted to show you how things can fall apart very rapidly. I just took it out from where the screen was so that maybe you could better see the rain over at the telephone pole where the lights are. Anyhow, I just wanted to show you this. It is Saturday, and I just wanted to show you. So this is what snow and rain and ice look like. Now it just started raining because it's a little bit less cold of a temperature outside, so it's raining instead of snowing. But this is exactly what it looks like. Just telling it like it is, but you can see off in them trees it looks whitish. That is ice, it's not snow. It won't be long, the rain will have washed the ice look away, so it won't look like snow either. Because from a distance it looks like snow in the top of trees and stuff, but it's actually ice. Good afternoon here, YouTube people. What is going on with you all today? I was sitting here contemplating going somewhere, but I'm not going to. I know I'm not. It is all ice outside. It has stopped raining, therefore the cold is taking effect on whatever rain has taken over. And I was sitting here watching YouTube videos on my Fire Stick, and I happened to come across this video that said I died and God or Jesus Christ or whoever showed me this, okay? And then I turned the page on that, and there's about 180 of the same video or a similar video that says similar to it. Okay, so there's all these prophecies about January 31st. So I'm looking back, okay? I can remember back 20-something years ago. And I was watching YouTube, and I seen a video similar to this. Okay, so back during that time, it was like, I don't know, 2004. And it said, this is what happened, this is what came out of the sea, this is this is that. What God should be showing you, my Father in the third heaven, what he should be showing you, and what you're listening to somebody else saying that they understood this and this was this and that was that, it doesn't have anything to do with anything. What my Father is showing you is there are many false prophets. Okay? They will say one thing and then another will happen. If you can remember way back, I said something about the zombie virus. Okay? Well, that took place, okay? Somehow or another, it got thwarted. I don't know what happened, but you can look it up. It existed, and it didn't exist because of me, but I knew about it, okay? And I didn't give a false statement on it, okay? A lot of times my Father will thwart different things that come into play, and that was one of them. Does it mean that it won't ramp back up? No, it could. But at least I didn't give any false statement on it, okay? It was true. What I said was true. And I still stand on 5 to 10 years. My Father is going to return, okay? I can't say exactly when. People, I met a woman over at QT, Quick Trip, okay? And she was sitting over next to me, and she came over and said, "Can I sit here?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" So she sits there. She says, "Well, this has been my normal seat since about 3 or 4 months now." And I was thinking to myself, well, the store has only been open like 2.5 months, but okay, I'll go with it. So she started talking to me. She said, "Well, do you know that Christ is returning?" I said, "Yes, ma'am. I've known that for quite a while." She was like, "No, he's returning." And I said, "Okay." She said, "Well, if you don't follow, you're going to be left behind." I was like, "Okay, where did we get this from?" So she starts talking to me. She said she was in church. Her pastor was talking about it. He says no more than 3 months. My Father will return. I said, "Well, I don't know where he gets that from, but okay, I'll go with that." She was like, yeah. So I was like, "Okay, no problem." And she put a lot of urgency in it. And I looked in her car, and she had just about every kind of item that I guess she had. She must have been homeless living in her car, okay? And I've met many of those. Like I said, at one time, when I got back from the Philippines, I was homeless, okay? So I do, when I see them, I notice them, okay? Like, a homeless person will look at you and say, "Well, what does a homeless person look like?" Because it's true. A lot of us get showers every day. We get new clothes all the time. As a matter of fact, we get more new clothes than regular everyday people, a person might wear, pants and shirt, and then 2-3 weeks later, they're wearing that same pants and shirt, A lot of homeless people, such as myself, will go to a clothes closet or a church or something like that where clothes are donated. We will wear them. Some of us don't wear them long at all, like 2 days or something and gone. But I would wear mine, a week and a half to 2 weeks. And then a lot of us, and I was one of them, I didn't like carrying a bunch of bags around and stuff. So what I would do is throw the clothes away and go to the clothes closet again and get new clothes again. So you would always see me in different types of clothes. It was like, man, you've got wardrobes up the yin yang, and it was true. I mean, why would I carry around some old dirty clothes, and then go to the laundromat, which I did do when I was in the hotel for 2 years in a row and stuff like that, because they had a laundromat in there. So I just took advantage of that situation and washed my clothes and put them on, clean, everything else, took a shower every night, blah, 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 blah. When I was actually on the street, I didn't get the opportunity to take a bath every single day. Sometimes 3, 4, 5 days a week. But, I didn't go for weeks on end without a bath, but there were times that I just didn't get a chance to have a bath, okay? But nevertheless, my question was, what does a homeless person look like? But you can tell some of them through their mentality, okay? So this woman is going on and on and on with me about how, Christ is coming back and she's going and I better be ready and this and that. And I was like, okay, well, that just about goes against everything that's written in the Bible. There will not be not such a one person that can tell you the day and the hour in which I return. Okay, I cannot tell you that. I can give you a ballpark number. I'm looking at 5 to 10 years from right now, okay? But I cannot tell you that things are going to change next Saturday, January 31st. You can look it up on YouTube. There's all kind of prophecy coming out. January 31st, and then this one lady was a nurse, and she supposedly died, and February 16th, 17th, something like that, that this, and this is, it's all going to change, and blah, 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 and then there was a prophecy for April, and one for June, and then one for December. All these things are supposedly going to happen. Okay, fine and good. All we have is time. We have time to analyze. Because if the first one doesn't come true, then guess what? The rest of them are not true either. Because my Father does not speak of lies. So if the first one is a lie, then you have to discard all the rest of them. Because he's not going to be correct on one, and then the next one is not going to happen, and the next one's not going to happen. But what my Father wants to do in this case is allow all these false prophets to tell you things. And it's up to you to believe them or not. But as I was saying about the Californians, there is scientists, there are meteorologists, there are so many different types of people that have gone to school for these certain things that say that within the coming years, the whole western seaboard is going to be wiped out by tsunamis and things like this. Okay. Why, pray tell, will you live in a state like this unless you just want to be taken out? Seriously. Because you might be the first to go. Now, of course, you might not. You actually may even survive over there. But the chances are of you surviving is like 1 in a million, okay? So why would you want to live in a state such as that? Okay, I don't know. I question that every day. Now, you and I and Uncle Bob over there could jump in our car and get in a major accident and die in our car in a totally different state than California, sure enough. It could happen. But why will you want to subject yourself to an area such as that you know, or you should, because there are so many people saying it, that something inevitable is going to happen there, and you're just taking a chance until what? So that is why I would question something like that. Now, as far as the rest of the predictions, quote, prophetic speeches and things like that, you have to let them go. You have to. And this is why my Father allows that to happen, because he wants you to come running to him. He is the one that's full of the answers. These other people know jack than him. And, you know, I see him over and over again every year. I was watching a YouTube video in 2002, 2003 of this woman that said, "Get out of America now, blah, 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 blah. It's going to be destroyed and blah, blah, blah. We're going to have nuclear, this, that, and the other thing." It's 2026. That was 24 years ago, you know. Does it mean it'll never happen? No, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. It could happen today. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen next week. Of course, it always could happen. But it hasn't happened up until now. But can you imagine of all the people? Because she had like 89,000 people watch her video. And then a couple more, 300-400 people came out of the woodworks saying the same thing. Get out of America, get out of America, get out of America. Why? Because they saw how many views she had. Do you know with all those views, she gets quite a bit of money, okay? So, you know, just to be able to make money like that, that is why she made the statements that she made. And she may be gone now, who knows? But it's just funny. But anyway, I just wanted to say that there are so many false prophets in this world. You have to overlook that. Because yes, absolutely, my Father is going to return. Why? Because he said so. Okay? Even Islam, who doesn't belong to the family of my Father, they know that he is going to return. Okay? They know it. Some of them actually admit it, but they know that he is going to return. Okay? So, and they do believe that he never died, that he ascended into heaven. They just believe him to be a prophet. But why did their holy prophet, Muhammad, why did he die? It's so crazy. But anyway, nevertheless, don't go with what everybody always tells you as far as predictions are concerned and things like that. I can remember Benny Hinn. My dad did not like Benny Hinn. Sorry to say, but it's true. My dad and my mom went to a revival of Benny Hinn's back in like the 70s, okay? And that was back when Benny Hinn used to put his hands on you and push you, like trying to push you down. You know, after that, he was like Darth Vader, he would just throw his hands in the air and a bunch of people would fall down or whatever, okay? Benny Hinn said back in the early 90s that a certain ruler of a country would die that particular year, which never happened. And I mean, he did end up dying, but he was old. But he said that particular year he was going to die, and they were going to attack the United States. That never happened, okay? He said it right out of his mouth. You can probably find it on YouTube where he says these exact words, you know. And I mean, I knew he was a false prophet anyway. Him and Paula White had something going on. There was a lot of controversy on that. She was married. He was married. But they were fooling around with each other against their spouses. And there was all kind of controversy on that. I don't want to say that this and that happened, but it was pretty much confirmed that they were messing around with each other. Other than that, however, whenever, or why ever, I don't know, and I really don't care. But nevertheless, he is and always has been a false prophet. I went to her church seeking some help because I transferred a job from here, right here in Atlanta, Georgia, to Florida, Tampa Bay, right near her church. And the general manager of that company, he was weird. He like changed his mind, his tone, and everything else. I had the GM of my company right here talking to him. And they were having a conference call in front of me. I was listening to this. And the guy said, yeah, we need a position just like what he's doing there. Just send him down here and we'll sign him up and blah, blah, blah. My general manager up here, he had nothing but good words to say about me, okay? And the one down there was like, oh, we'll welcome him. We can't promise him to make the same kind of money because up here in Georgia for the exact same job was like $2.75 more an hour than it is down there, okay? But I didn't care. I wanted to move close enough so that I could be close to my kids and visit them often and things like this. This was years ago, but it never did happen. So I get down there. He points out at my car, a Lincoln Town car, 1995 Lincoln Town car. Is that your car? I say, yes, sir. Well, I don't know that we could promise you to give you enough money to support a type of car like that. I was like, huh? We were in like 2007, 2006, something like that. And he was saying these things, and I was like, come on, dude. Why would you have me come all the way down here only to try to talk me out of it? Then he says, well, I have one other position open. It's picking up trash out in the parking lot. It pays $7 an hour, but it's not full time. So I was like in trouble at that moment. I needed a computer and I needed possibly help. So I went to Paula White's church. Paula White was nowhere to be found. Now, Paula White is not, I can say this once again, Paula White is not any more important than me, myself, okay? But she goes through all this stuff and jumping through hoops and everything, and Donald Trump selects her as being the spiritual person for the United States. Come on now. Her church couldn't even help me. And they told me directly, they looked me in the face and said, "Oh, we can't help you with your situation." Okay, don't help me then. I'll find a way. Anyway, I went, as I said, I went from Atlanta, Georgia, all the way down to Tampa, Florida, okay? I drove around quite a bit while I was there, and then I drove back up here. All in all, I put about $130 worth of gas in my car. That's all it took. That isn't bad. I mean, we're talking 8.5 hours worth of driving down there and coming back up. And the whole time I was there, which was like 2 weeks, thanks God, my company up here took me back in the same exact position and everything else. I was very thankful for that. They bent over backwards for me, and I was totally grateful and thankful for that. But nevertheless, I felt like I had like a 2-week vacation. I never did get a chance to stay down there with my kids, but maybe my father just didn't have it for me to do. I don't know. Nevertheless, I just wanted to make those statements. I got another video that I want to make here later on tonight, so I just thought that I would bring it out on the table. It's still raining and sleet, and there's a lot of ice on the street, so I will not be going anywhere today and probably tomorrow, because in the morning tomorrow it's supposed to be like 15 degrees, and I'm not going to do that. There'll be too much ice and stuff out there, and I just don't want to take chances like that. Anyways, I want you to know that I love you. I love you right there. Love yourself. Love my Father God. And by all means, love each other, people. Until the next time, love, peace, and soul.